The layoff list isn't about who works the hardest. It's about visibility, it's about strategy, and it's about how you position yourself in your company. I've worked a 9 to 5 for over 25 years in corporate, and I have seen many different angles of layoff. And what I've learned will be able to help you avoid being next if at all possible. Many years ago, the company I worked for was going through a major reorganization. What really surprised me were the people that were laid off. The people who were cut were people who worked very hard, were very dedicated, coming to work early, leaving late, making the job a priority. But that situation taught me that doing good work will not prevent you from being laid off. And from that moment, I completely changed the way how I saw my 9 to 5 and the way how I worked as I grew in my career. Here's what really puts people at risk. If you are a task taker and not a problem solver, well, you're gonna be at risk. If you are waiting around, waiting for somebody to tell you what to do, the company is gonna see you as replaceable. You cannot take anything for granted. You need to be very active when you are at work, looking at all of the problems that need to be solved, not just the task in front of you. Next, low visibility. If your boss is the only one that knows your value, you are at risk of being on this list. Because if no one beyond your immediate manager knows about the good work that you're doing, when decisions are being made, you're just going to be invisible. Next, lack of direct business value. What does that mean? If you can't tie your work directly to the critical outcomes of the business, such as revenue, client retention, reducing cost, then you're likely to be at risk. Next one, stagnant skill set. If your skills are not evolving, if you are not taking your development seriously, but the company is evolving and changing, leadership is going to assume that you're just not going to be able to grow with this company. Now, all of these things may not sound fair, but it is the reality. Now, let's talk about what actually works to stay off this list. If you want to protect your position, your role, here is what people who end up staying consistently do. 1, own problems, not just tasks. Be someone who spots issues, problems early, and not just someone who's focused on a task that they have and you're checking that off as complete. Be proactive. Look around in your team. Is there a problem affecting your team that you can find a solution to? Better yet, is there a problem even in another department that you have a solution for or that you can contribute to? You need to make yourself valuable by solving problems that are important to the business. 2, be the go-to person. Now, we all know that person that you reach out to anytime you need help. If you're preparing for client presentations, if you're working on a new project, everybody in the company kind of knows who that go-to person is. You need to be the go-to person. You need to become known as resourceful, as always having a good attitude, as always wanting to help, as being solutions focused. This is the kind of thing that will keep you off that layoff list. Number 3, build strong relationships. This does not mean that you have to be friends with everybody. We know this isn't practical, but there are many ways that you can build good relationships. Maybe you can mentor new employees in your team or in the company. You can reach out to the leaders of other departments and ask if there is something you can help with. Maybe your HR department has a project that could do with some extra help, and maybe you could be that person. And that would help you not only to be visible in your department, but to be visible in other departments as well. Remember, people don't fight to keep strangers. You want to be respected, you want to be remembered. Number 4, make yourself revenue generating. This one is probably one of the most important. When I became a leader years ago, I learned that the closer you are to the financials of the company, the safer you are when it comes to this layoff list. What is the most important thing to the business? The financials, the profitability. If the business is not making a profit, is not doing well financially, then that business is not going to be viable. So you better believe that making money is the primary concern of that business. And you want to position yourself in a way that you're directly contributing to the revenue of that company where at all possible. You want to make sure that you're showing how your work is increasing revenue, bringing in new clients, even if you're not in sales, reducing costs that the company has, or improving efficiency in some way. That's going to be a game changer in terms of making sure you don't end up on that layoff list. The persons who are contributing positively to the financials of the business usually do not end up on that list. And 5, keep learning, keep adapting. There is a lot of advancements happening now, especially in technology. AI has been a complete game changer. It is going to be important for you to continue to upskill yourself. Companies will have to evolve to survive in this current environment. And if a company has initiatives to become more efficient, to adopt more technology, you have to be able to keep up with that. You have to have a good attitude as well when it comes to change, because if you are resistant to change, then you're going to look like you're getting in the way of progress. And that's one sure way to get yourself on this list. If you have recently been laid off or terminated from your job, I want you to hear me clearly. You may have lost your job, but it doesn't mean you've lost your calling. You are still the same person. You still have the same abilities. You're still smart, funny, talented. You still are destined to be successful. The company made a decision. That's a business decision. It has nothing to do with who you are as a person. And I understand that it might be difficult. You may have to give yourself time to grieve the loss of that, but don't stay there too long. I always say, never confuse your who with your do. Your job is what you do. It's not who you are. And that's important, because if the job no longer exists, it does not mean that you no longer exist. This may be a time where you may step into something that is even better. There are many people that after losing their job, they have pivoted in a way that has brought them tremendous success. You need to give yourself that opportunity as well. I mean, for example, Oprah Winfrey, she was fired from her a television job early in her career, and she went on to become a media powerhouse. Steve Jobs is another example, and that one is a good one because he was fired from a company that he founded. That was his brainchild. You can't get a more hurtful experience than that. And many years later, he actually came back to rebrand that company, launch the iPhone, So I'm giving you these examples so you know that you're not alone and this situation does not define you. But I did not want to end this video without speaking to you directly if you are in this situation. This is not the end of your story. If this video helped you in any way, go ahead and hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.